Ahoy, shipmates! Right, the microphone decided that it needs to be plugged into a different socket. It needs to be working now. Look at the smoke coming out of there. That doesn't look very clean, does it? I think it's one of the side effects of the scrubbing technology. I understand it's cleaner than it used to be, but it does have a bit of a smoky whiff about it, doesn't it? Just the 2 ships departing today, shipmates. We have the Britannia at 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock here. We have the Anthem of the Seas. It's very strange conditions in port today, lighting-wise. There's some very dark clouds and some sunny spots, and I think the weather's particularly good. I'll have a quick look at the weather. Yeah, it's only around about 20 C and a little bit of gusting up to a 20 knots. So it's not too bad, but not the best conditions. There were little tiny spits and spots of rain earlier. Just typical British summer, I suppose. But yes, there has been some rather interesting black, heavy-looking clouds. Sort of clouds that you'd imagine at any moment they would stop the play at the cricket and cause you to get soaking wet. Anthem of the Seas is off on a 14-night cruise, if memory serves me correctly. They're calling it Beaches and Cities or something like that. Something novel and interesting. Let's have a look. Yep, it is the Beaches and Cities. 14 nights down to the Mediterranean, calling in at Cadiz, Malaga, Valencia, Ibiza, Barcelona, Palma, Mallorca, and Lisbon. I wonder if that heat wave will still be going on in Europe. It's very hot in the south. I don't know what's happening there temperature-wise. Luckily, I think most of these ships are fully air-conditioned, which will be a great help to all those on board. Nobody's on the top of... There's a... Right on the very top of Anthem of the Seas, you can see it's a pod which goes up. I think it's called the North Star. I saw it in port earlier. It was sticking up right up the top of the ship, providing the passengers with a fantastic view of the port of Southampton. But it's not up at the moment. It's very popular with quite a few of the guests. We've had shipmates on the channel said how good the view is from there. There we get a better view of it there on the Nestle cam. That does look a bit clearer, actually, over down Southampton water. If I look on cruise cam, you can actually see the sort of smoke haze right-hand side of the screen that is coming from Anthem of the Seas. You can just see it coming on screen now. I think it's something to do with the scrubbing technology. Supposedly it's cleaner, but you do wonder exactly what's going on there, don't you? I think it's to do with the way the technology cleans the fumes, gives you a different smell and colour, particularly visible on Netley cam. Look at that little cloud of puffing out the back there. Unless, of course, there's a lot of people vaping on board. You never know. There we go. It's looking very calm on Southampton water today. Not a lot of pleasure craft activity out there. Not sure why. Thought it'd been quite a good day to be out on your yacht. Let's have a quick look in the chat, see what's going on there. Let's see, we've got plenty of shipmates in the chat. So, ahoy there, Steve M. Ahoy there, Judy Walker. Ahoy there, Nicholas August. Ahoy there, Ellie Murley. Ahoy there, Lynn Cohen. Ahoy there, Daniel San. Ahoy there, Jill. think that's covered it all. Have I missed someone? Oh, there, Katie Pace. There we go. And we've got some excellent spanners in the chat as well. Kevin 2, Bay Blue, they'll be helping you out with any questions you have. Maybe they might even have some information on why it's so smoky on the Anthem of the Seas. And ahoy there, Tracy Reese. Oh, ahoy there, JB the Duckman says hi from Cows. They're a local boy. A quick look on Cows Cam, see what's going on in the Solent. Oh, there's those dark clouds I was talking about. See, well, there's a few yachts out there, but not a great deal going on, is there? Tomorrow will be live streaming Ships TV, so if you haven't subscribed, may I suggest you subscribe, hit that notification bell, then when we go live you'll be notified and you won't miss out anything, because tomorrow we have the Disney Dream. She will be departing at, I think it's 5 o'clock, and that's the first time that I think the first time I've shown Disney Dream on the channel. I don't think she's probably been into Port of Southampton before, but certainly hasn't been on the channel or a live stream. Shipmate, ahoy there. Sean says, what is scrubbing? Scrubbing, it's some sort of technology they have in the funnels, which gets rid of all the noxious fumes and makes it cleaner, but it does have this effect of making it look a bit orangey. Ahoy there, Albino Kiwi. Welcome aboard, shipmates. So instead of having black smoke out of the top, you'll have this sort of browny, hazy sort of coming out the funnels. And apparently that's cleaner, although it doesn't look cleaner, does it? Ships, some of the newer ships today are actually powered by LNG, such as Iona and Arvia. Much cleaner indeed. Anthem of the Seas, made the voyage was in April 2015. That's making her just over 8 years old. 168,000 gross tons with a length of 347 metres. Top speed of 22 knots. 41 kilometres an hour for all you continental types. All 25 miles per hour in the King's units. Passenger capacity when maximum occupancy is getting close to 5,000 passengers. I don't actually know how many crew there are, but I'm going to make an estimation of somewhere around about 13 to 1,500 crew, I would think. A little chap out there going very slowly in his dinghy. Britannia due to depart at 6, as far as I know. At the moment she's here in port. Oh, it looks sunnier, doesn't it? Just a short hop up the port, and it's looking much sunnier here. And you can see one of the ferries to the Isle of Wight over there. Well, we can see the Isle of Wight quite clearly. In fact, just on the top there, you can see a little white dot. That is a marker for navigation. Hi there, shipmate. Glennis Bratt says, looking forward to the Disney ship tomorrow. Yes, I hope to get a little drone in, because I have not droned Disney Dream, so I shall be up early, give her a drone, see if I can get that video. Actually, I'll see if I can get that video out before during the day. Yeah, during the day. I'll see if I can do that. Oh, shipmate Alan says he's now caught up with the small speedboat around the UK. I mentioned that last week, I think. Excellent little series by Harry Dwyer. He's taking a very small old Avon inflatable rib all around the UK, circumnavigating the whole of the UK. I think he started off in London in the Thames estuary. He's been past Southampton, been down to Cornwall, gone around Wales, and I think he's up in Scotland now, where he seems to have got to. A very entertaining fellow. Had some lovely drone shots of where he's been, and some of the coastline is very dramatic. He's not doing it in one go. He keeps taking his little speedboat out and then goes back home for a couple of months and then comes back out again. I think he's avoiding all that bad weather. It's very sensible. And shipmate Alan messaged me earlier. I think he said he really enjoyed it. And thanked me for the recommendation. Shipmate Johnny B says, who's the Disney ship captain? Donald, Mickey or Goofy? I suppose that depends on the quality of the docking, doesn't it, shipmate? If it's a good docking, it could be Mickey. If it's slamming into the quay and causing damage, then probably Goofy, I would imagine. All we there to shipmate Keith Kench, landlocked in Birmingham. They've had a not a bad departure day on the Anthem of the Seas. Off on a 14 night, same as Britannia, in fact. Pretty much following each other around the Mediterranean. Well, I think actually they might be going around a different way. But they're both off to the Mediterranean for 14 nights. The Anthem of the Seas is calling at what they call a beaches and cities cruise, calling in at Cadiz, Malaga, Valencia, Ibiza, Barcelona, Palma, Mallorca and Lisbon. Shipmate Ellie Murphy says that Disney Magic actually did reverse into the dock. I think it was either in America or the Caribbean. Well, maybe Goofy was driving that time then. Britannia due to depart at 6 o'clock. We've had Anthem of the Seas depart at 5. Britannia's due at 6. And as you see, the weather is... the wind is picking up, making potentially a little unpleasant for people out on their balconies. Can't see too many out on Britannia just yet, but she's got a good 15 minutes or so. I shall zoom in on the lines. See what's happening with there shortly. Our shipmate Orion 12 says, will you be streaming Anthem's departure on Sunday, August 13th? Possibly. I don't see why not. It's difficult to always know. Sometimes if I'm out on the water, I don't necessarily get back in time. Traffic and all that sort of thing. If I'm not live streaming, certainly the cameras will be live streaming the feed. So make sure you subscribe so you'll get all the latest notifications when we do go live. Ah, shipmate Leon Cohen says the glad the wind and weather not as bad as last week. Oh, yes. Terrible last week. Really windy. I mean, it was so windy last Saturday that Iona's departure was delayed until 1 o'clock in the morning. Very different experience. Shipmate Rocky Raccoon says much nicer sail away this week. Hey, yeah, what a difference, say. Certainly not wrong there, shipmate. So tomorrow we have 3 ships tomorrow. We have the P&O's Iona departing at, that's interesting, 5:45. It's unusual, normally 6 o'clock. We've got Sky Princess at 4 o'clock, Disney Dream at 5 o'clock. It's one that everyone's looking forward to see. And then Iona at 5:45. The Iona following quite closely Disney Dream. She departs at 5 from 102 berth. That looks like a racing yacht down there with a big black sail. Just going to have a quick look on Britannia to see if there was any shipmates. No, nobody there just yet. You can normally get a fairly good idea when the ship is about to depart. There'll be some crew there on the well deck watching the lines be released, but I don't normally see that until about 10 minutes till departure, and we are looking at 15 minutes or so till departure, so that's not really telling us anything. Ah, shipmate Rocky Raccoon says the Canadian flag sweep people were still on the sailing. I just disembarked today. Never found them though, but the flag was still on in Bilbao this week. Ah, right. There's been a Canadian flag on the back of some of the ships. I can't remember which one it was. I don't know if it was Anthem of the Seas. Quite often you'd zoom in on the back of the ship. There was this big Canadian flag, so they're obviously having a whale of a time cruising all around the Mediterranean from aboard Southampton. Looks like shipmate Rocky Raccoon never tracked them down. Boy there, Marina Claire. So we can have a quick look at the map. Give you some idea of where Anthem of the Seas is. There we go. There's Anthem of the Seas, just pretty much down here at the Cowshot Spit. Currently speed of just over, well, almost 11 knots, heading to Cadiz in Spain. She will come around following the Southampton patrol vessel, making sure that no one gets in the way. She'll come around here, around Bramble Bank. Bramble Bank is this little square of sand here. Very shallow. She'll come around that and then past Cows and head on out to Cadiz in Spain. Hi there, Florian Max Heiner. He is from Germany. Oh, guten Abend. Shipmate Elizabeth Liebon says Cadiz is a lovely port. There we go. There's a recommendation. I've noticed most of the ships travelling to the Mediterranean seem to stop in Cadiz. It seems to be a very popular destination. Even ones going down to the Canary Islands as well often pop into Cadiz. There we go, there's the Red Funnel Ferry, looking very bright, isn't it? You certainly get a good view from the Red Funnel Ferry. You happen to be travelling to and from the Isle of Wight. It's a good way to spot the cruise ships. Yeah, it's a bit. Just having a. Sorry, I was just having a look on Britannia. No shipmates yet. Weather is, like I say, still wind is from the west, gusting up to 20 knots. So it's not too bad, but not very warm. I would imagine the humidity is relatively high. There we go. Let's have a look at the bow of Britannia. I was going to say I own it then. That is Britannia. She is due to depart at 6. Shipmate Elizabeth Leadbaum says, she's asking Elizabeth G if she's looking forward to seeing Gary on the Cows Cam. Gary is the giraffe. I think he actually has a proper name. I think that's not his proper name. But seems to become affectionately known on the channel as Gary the Giraffe. He's right up on the, on the other side. I think there's a term for that. I think it's called starboard. Saturday, of course, sees 3 ships departing. Starting quite early, actually, with Sky Princess at 4 o'clock. It's probably 1:06. I'll probably say go live right about 4:30. Then at 5 o'clock, we've got Disney Dream. She'll probably be on screen about 5:15. And then at 5:45, Iona departs 15 minutes earlier than normal. Quite sure what's going on there. And then at 5 o'clock, we also have the Spirit of Discovery departing. She's in the Saltmead anchorage, so we can't really see her, unfortunately. Sunday, we see 3 ships in the port of Southampton. The Seven Seas Navigator, the Queen Victoria, and Arvia. I'd like to do a live stream on Sunday, but unfortunately I will not be in the port of Southampton. I'll be in a small village in Hampshire called Hambledon, enjoying Fizz Fest 2023. It's a celebration of the sparkling wines of Hampshire. In fact, no less than, I think there are slightly more than 20 sparkling wines produced in the county of Hampshire. Now, I'm hoping it's not going to rain too much. At all, really, would be ideal. Shipmate Dinah B's just arrived on deck. He's been in the bath. Good. Glad you made it, shipmate. Shipmate Ryan 12 said, did Anthem leave on time? Yes, I'd say so. Maybe departed a few minutes late. We can't really see from our vantage point quite where she is, where she departed, but I would say roughly on time. Just having a quick look at Britannia's bow to see if there's anything going on there. No, nothing going on as yet. Coming up 6 minutes to, normally we see some activity. Plenty of shipmates on the top of Iona. You can see here the Anthem of the Seas is just ready, starting her turn. I think I might go over to... let's have a look, shall we? Let's go have a look. A little look around Iona, shall we? Oh, sorry, Britannia. Oh, there's shipmate Chloe Taylor. Many thanks for subscribing. Welcome aboard, shipmate. There's definitely some steam or smoke coming out of Britannia's funnel, so all looking good. There we go. Oh, we can see a few shipmates out on their balconies, taking photographs. Could be a good sunset. I have a feeling it could be a good sunset this evening. Oh, that's a fantastic balcony there. They've got a whole wraparound balcony on the corner. You see Britannia is registered in the port of Southampton. Rather unusual. We don't see too many of the cruise ships registered in the port of Southampton. Oh, looks a bit windy. That lady's hair blowing all over the place. People are coming out onto their balconies. I'm guessing they're waiting to wave goodbye to the wonderful port of Southampton. Chap there doing some stretches, maybe a touch of yoga perhaps. Not as many out on their balconies as we saw an Anthem just a minute ago, but perhaps more will come out as she departs. Yeah, there's quite a few on top deck as well, isn't there? I'll have a look on the top deck in a second, I think. Let's have a little nosy down the side here. Normally, I hear of some shipmate that's going to be travelling on the ships, and they let us know, tell us where they are, which cabin they're in. I haven't heard of any on this trip. Oh, look, there's a shipmate there, right out on the edge of that wing bridge. That's great. That's going to be a great view, isn't it? Right over, seeing what the wing bridge crew will see. No one out on. No one out on the well deck just yet. As you can see here, Anthem of the Seas heading around Cowshot Spit there. Off on her 14-night cruise. That doesn't look quite so yellow now, does it? A little bit more white. I wonder if that's because she's now picked up a bit of speed. I wonder how fast she is actually going. She is currently at 12.8 knots, so picking up speed. I don't know how responsive it is to turn the ship that size around the corners. As you can see, it's a little bit breezy up on the top of Britannia. We have a little look around, see what's going on. Quite a few people on the top, stretching their legs before going down to the buffet. due to depart at 6 o'clock, so any moment now. Let's have a quick look down at the front, shall we? Nope, that's the stern. That's the wrong way. Let's try and go the other way, shall we? Oh, there we go. No one there as yet. Curious. Britannia's off on a 14-night Mediterranean cruise as well, except for no beaches. Not a beaches and cities this cruise, this one, just a 14-night cruise. Calling in at Palma de Mallorca, Gibraltar, Ibiza, Calgary, I'm not sure what that one is, Malaga and Cadiz. See one of the red jets blasting through there. Shipmate John Brown says currently on Britannia watching Ships TV, but signal is weak. Yes, that's the problem I've noticed. I think it's to do with so many thousands of people all in one spot trying to, with mobile phones. I don't think the network is geared up for such a saturation of shipmates in one spot. But if you can, John, give us a wave, shipmate. Let us know where you are. Or give us an update on departure. Hello, what's this? Something's coming up here very slowly. Looks a bit like a race. Aha, I see a shipmate on the whale deck. That's a good sign. It means there's activity ahead. Oh, that looks like quite a large yacht, doesn't it? Oh, look at how beamy that is. Not quite sure when that yacht is going. It's a bread yacht, La Boulangère. La Boulangère Solo. I'm not quite sure. We do have all sorts of races going on this year. I think I'm not quite sure when it is, because but there is the Fastnet, I think, is on Saturday. Is it Saturday? Yes, the Fastnet race starts Saturday from just off of Cowes, so it's going to be quite busy in the Solent. Ahoy there, shipmate Bill G. Many thanks for subscribing, shipmate. Welcome aboard. Yes, the Fastnet race, like I say, just this week, just Saturday. They're starting this Saturday. It'll be very busy in the Solent this weekend with the Fastnet race. We're racing down to a lighthouse. That's the Fastnet itself. I'm not sure how long they take. It depends on conditions, but if it's pretty windy like it is at the moment, probably ideal. There's also another race. I think it's the Whitbread Round the World race. It's starting from Ocean Village, so I'm probably going to see if I can live stream the start of that. Might be a little bit ambitious, but you never know. We've got to try these things, haven't we? See if there's any action on these lines. Is there any action on these lines? No. Nothing going on just yet. It's 50 years of the Whitbread race, if my memory serves me correctly. Can't find out when it actually is, though. Oh, maybe it's not that one. No, I might be wrong. Something starting in Ocean Village. Hi there, shipmate. Phil Harrison says he's got back in this morning. 2 weeks on Britannia. I'm guessing that was a Mediterranean cruise. It might have been quite hot. How was the weather for you, shipmate, if you were in the Mediterranean, Phil Harrison? Was it hot? Oh, hi there, shipmate Ewan from Scotland says he's beginning his deck officer training next month. Oh, well done, shipmate. Off on a career exploring the seas. Shipmate, there's Leopold says our yacht's gathering for the Fastnet race. It'll probably be tomorrow. We'll see a fair amount of activity for that. They'll be currently moored up in various locations. Oh yes, shipmates Valerie Moleskog. I forgot that's one right. Reminds me that last weekend, because the wind was so strong, when the ships depart the port, they have a pilot on board. The pilot is an expert in the waters in the port of Southampton and will navigate these ships through the hazards around Bramblebank and out into the Solent. Once they're out into the Solent, the pilot gets off onto the little pilot boat and comes back to port. But as shipmate Valerie Morskog reminds me, the pilot didn't get off until Dover. Oh, here we go. Here the lines are being released. So Dover is a long way for the poor old pilot to come back to Southampton. Just shows when the conditions are really bad, the pilots won't get on. That's what often delays vessels. The pilot vessel comes alongside the cruise ship and then the pilots get on and off. So if the sea is really rough, it can be very dangerous, and there has been some accidents in the past. Not here, I don't think, at the Port of Southampton, but certainly other parts of the world. You see that the lines are slackening off now. There we go. She'll begin to what's known as a singling up stage, but there'll only be a few lines holding the ship on. One at the bow, one at the stern, probably one halfway down. This is good news for imminent departure. Or there, Water Clement? Go, just a few lines left holding Britannia on before she departs on. She's on a 14-night Mediterranean cruise as well. We'll be following Anthem of the Seas. She's calling in at Gibraltar, Ibiza, Palma de Mallorca, Cagliari, Malaga and Cadiz. And there we go. Here are the other lines all slackening off. Must be quite busy in that little area of the ship there. There we go. You can see one of the red funnels is departing. Lots of ferry passengers up on deck, looking at all the sights. And then in the very background, we have the Hythe ferry. Ah, it looks like the old ship is back in service now. I think that's, I'm not sure which one that is. Is that Hotspur? No, Hythe Scene. Anyway, had a replacement ship for a while. Replacement ferry while the other one was being repaired or off on its annual maintenance. There was talk of the ferry having to close at the start of the year, but it seems to have two things seem to have gone in the favour. One is there were people rallied round and decided to go out there and enjoy it, which was quite amusing. And the other thing is there is quite extensive roadworks between Redbridge, which is between Hythe and Southampton. So if you want to get to Southampton quickly, the ferry is probably the best way to do it. Just waiting for the last two lines. And then Britannia will be departing. And there we go. No, stop. I'll have a quick look at the time. What does it say? 6:10. Well, ship's time, so... There we go. That's what I meant to do. See those lines coming in. Yeah, it must be a lot of activity going on in that small room, all those winches and lines. Noise of the machines. Damp lines sloshing around and whipping you with the little tails on there. There we go, that's those two lines, and this looks like the last lines coming in now. This one looks longer than the rest, doesn't it? Was probably headed quite a long way forward. Here it comes, almost at the end. There we go. If it picked up any seaweed on its way. No, it doesn't seem to have done. Right, I think he's just radioed in, all clear. And off she goes. He'll be radioing up to the captain. Let him know that departure is ready to go. Off on the 14-night Mediterranean cruise. Well, there's a lot of shipmates out on deck, isn't there? Look at that. Fantastic. Britannia will probably edge back ever so slightly. I don't know if you can see that on your screens. She's just nudging back. Probably goes back just a few feet, maybe sort of 5 or 6 feet, maybe even 10 feet. She'll go back just a bit, and then she'll take her away from the dock side, and then she'll head on forwards. Yeah, I think some of the shipmate was mentioning that they're watching. I saw the comment. I can't see where it is now. Mentioning about watching last Friday and how bad the weather was. Yes, the weather last Friday was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I didn't bother doing a ship's TV. Didn't see much point. You could barely see anything. And I can't imagine there were too many people out on their balconies. And plus, Iona didn't depart till 1 o'clock in the morning. There we go. We can see Britannia now is just edging forwards. Don't forget, tomorrow, shipmates, we have a new ship for the channel. Not a new ship in itself. I think Disney Dream is about 12 years old, something like that. 12, 13 years old. It'll be the Disney Dream will be departing at 5 o'clock. For that, we'll have Guide Princess at 4, and then at 5:45 we have Iona. So do make sure you're subscribed so that we can inform you of our live stream tomorrow for the 3 ships departing and Disney Dream. Hoping, I actually haven't checked the weather. Well, maybe I should check the weather. Let's have a little zoom in over here, shall we first? Yeah. Check the weather for tomorrow. We want, if the weather is not too wet. No, it's looking a bit wet. It's looking drizzly. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, there's a high chance of rain in the evening. Oh, that's what a blow. Well, and there's relatively strong wind, which is a bit annoying. I was hoping to have the microphone on the camera because the Disney Dream tendon, it's like all the other Disney ships, will play a little tune from a horn. Quite a few shipmates on their balconies, aren't there? Enjoying the lovely sunny sail away. See if we can get anyone waving. There's certainly one shipmate in the chat who said he was on board. He was suffering with poor Wi-Fi signal or poor internet signal. Not sure which one it was. Shipmate Tracy Reese says, is it the first time Disney Dream has sailed to Southampton? I'm not sure. It's certainly the first time on the channel. We had Disney Magic last year or the year before. We don't often get Disney ships in, so I don't know. She may well have been before, but I've certainly not been on the channel and definitely not on a Ships TV live stream. So it'll be a first for the channel. Shipmate Alan says he hears that Celebrity Apex is sailing from Southampton next year. Is that correct? I've heard something similar as well, shipmate. I can't confirm it particularly, but that's what I've been told. Shipmate Andrew Fitzpatrick says, what sort of time will Disney be live? I shall start the live stream at about 4:30 because we have the Sky Princess departing at about 4, and she'll be on screen about 4:30. I imagine Disney Magic is scheduled to depart. Sorry, Disney Dream scheduled to depart at 5 o'clock. I imagine she'll be on screen somewhere at about 5:15, 5:20. If you happen to be in port itself, I'd get yourself down to Mayflower Park and you'll definitely see Disney Dream depart and you'll hear her horn. Perhaps if you could record that and send it to me, that'll be great. So far, no waivers. Oh, there we go. There's some waivers. Question is, are they waving to the channel or are they just waving to Town Quay here? Let's have a look, shall we? And they've gone. Oh, it looks like a tiny Welsh flag up there. Little weeny Welsh flag. I've noticed the Welsh seem to be very patriotic. Often the Welsh flag's flying. Hi there, shipmate Grobbo. Welcome aboard. Many thanks for subscribing. Probably keen to see a Disney Dream tomorrow. Like I say, be on the screen around about 5:15. Our shipmate Valerie Molskog says you can book on Apex for next year. It starts in May with the 8-day Norway trip. There we go. There was some shipmate asking about Celebrity Apex for next year. And there we go. I knew someone in the chat would know. They always seem to. Lots and lots of smart people in the chat. There we go. There is Britannia just going past, slipping out of her berth. No need to turn or anything, unlike Iona and Avia, which go in bow first and have to reverse out and spin around. Britannia is stern first, and then she goes in backwards and comes out forwards, and off she goes. Advantage of having a ship that's this way round is we can see down the side in a bit, which is always quite interesting. I enjoy the sideways view down the ship. Ahoy there, Angela Sparks. Many thanks for subscribing, shipmate. Welcome aboard. The sun is just... Look at that, see a little patch of sun there. Right on Britannia. Making her look gloriously white against that lovely blue of the water today. A bit of sea right down the starboard side and then down the port side. And there we go, as you can see, Britannia, home port of Southampton. Water's looking very calm. Not as windy as it has been lately. You can see all those little heads and all those balconies. I'm going to view straight down the starboard side there. And then we'll get a view down the port side. Some great looking cabins on the stern there. Look at that, there's the wing bridge. Oh, all those people there leaning over their balconies. Possibly waving to people on Town Quay Pier. It's a great location for a bit of ship spotting, Town Quay Pier, of course. See the water being disturbed at the stern now. She's putting on a bit of speed. She heads out on a 14-night Mediterranean cruise. Ahoy there, shipmate. Julie Watson says, can't wait to be waving to you all on the 27th of April from Iona. Excellent, shipmate. We should be looking forward to your waving antics. And shipmate, actually, right, shipmate, excellent spanner. Etienne says, we'll see the arrival of one innovation tomorrow, another first maiden arrival. Good chance we'll have some aquaticness going on. There could well be a water salute, often is. There we go, there is Britannia passing the dock head. Yes, one innovation due to arrive 9:15 tomorrow morning. I might see if I can drone her. We'll think about droning Disney Dream as well. She's due to arrive at 6:30 in the morning, so I've got some time to kill between the two arrivals. Go off somewhere and do something. A bit early for the pub, I suppose. Disney Dream, Britannia. Sorry, Britannia passing the dock head here. It's looking not quite so sunny from this view. Fortunately, this netly cam looks sort of towards the sun. The sky looks like it's clearing up a bit. I think we're probably on for a good sunset this evening. I see there's still quite a few shipmates on their balcony. Looking at the Aurora that's just here. Getting a good view of the Walhallensen Aurora as they head off on their 14-night cruise. Ahoy there, shipmate Angela Sparks from Liverpool, Texas. Well done. Glad to have a shipmate from Texas on board. Ahoy there, James T. Clark. Many thanks for subscribing, shipmates. Glad to have you on board. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed that one, shipmates. This is the cruise ship Britannia departing the port of Southampton on her 14-night cruise. Tomorrow we have Disney Dream, first for the channel. I'm not sure she's been in port before or not. I'll try and find that information out, but definitely not been on Ship TV. She's in quite early, so if you do fancy getting up early and watching the stream, we'll follow her in. I shall see if the weather conditions are agreeable. I'll probably get a drone in. And then we'll live stream in the evening along with Iona and Sky Princess, I think. There it gives you a good idea of scale here. The red funnel against the cruise ship there. Shipmate Ellie Murley says, will she have a water salute? Good question, shipmate. I don't know. She'll have a water salute if they're new ships or if sometimes it's their first time in port. So I would imagine that she's been in port before, I'd imagine. So probably not, would be my guess. Although there could well be a water salute for the one innovation due in at 9:30. Well, I'd just like to thank all the shipmates who have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please do think about subscribing. Thanks to all my Patreons, PayPal donors. And of course, thank you to the Blue Spanner crew for looking after the chat so well, providing lots of useful information, not only on these live streams, but on the live streaming cameras at all time. I shall keep following Britannia as she heads her way down Southampton water off to the hot and balmy Mediterranean. And I shall see you all tomorrow for the Disney Dream. Until next time, shipmates.